Welcome back to my channel, Valuable Rare Coins. If you're excited about finding hidden gems in your pocket change, you're in the right place. First, we're going to uncover some of the most valuable and rare US coins that could be worth a fortune. Let's dive in. We're diving into a coin that embodies the spirit of American independence and still sets collector hearts racing with every discovery. The legendary United States bicentennial quarter dollar struck with the dual date 1776-1976. When the nation prepared to celebrate its 200th birthday, the U.S. Mint wanted more than fireworks and parades. It aimed to place a little piece of history in every American's hand, and the result was the first circulating commemorative quarter in U.S. coinage. Minted in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, this special issue replaced the traditional eagle reverse with Jack Lr's gripping image of a revolutionary drummer keeping time for freedom while a torch of victory blazes above. An instantly recognizable design that turned ordinary pocket change into a patriotic keepsake, but the innovation did not stop at artwork. Collectors quickly discovered that the bicentennial quarter came in both standard copper-nickel clad and a limited mintage 40% silver version sold only in special sets. And that tiny difference in metal sparked a hunt that still electrifies the hobby today. Those silver-clad pieces flash a brighter luster, ring with a distinct chime, and carry a premium because far fewer were struck, making them a must-have for anyone building a complete modern US-type set. Rarity, however, skyrockets when minting missteps sneak into the mix, and the bicentennial quarter offers a thrilling menu of headline-making errors. Keep your eyes peeled for double-die obverse, where Liberty and In God We Trust appear ghosted or shadowed, for reverse hub-doubling that gives the drummer's drum or the victory torch a doubled outline, for dramatic off-center strikes that shift the dual date toward the rim, and for sensational planchet mistakes that left a few quarters struck on nickel or half-dollar blanks. Each of these anomalies transforms a common coin into a six-figure showpiece when graded in mint-fresh condition. Serious value hinges on state of preservation, so study the high points of Washington's hair and the drummer's cheek. If those areas remain unscuffed and frosty, you may be looking at an MS or proof cameo gem that vaults instantly to the top tier of auction desirability. Third-party grading services like PCGS and NGC certify these marvels, and their population reports reveal just how few bicentennial quarters achieve lofty grades of MS 68 or proof 70. Keeping demand fierce and pushing prices ever higher. If you want to separate treasures from pocket change, weigh the coin to confirm whether you have the heavier 40% silver planchet at about 5.75 grams. Scrutinize lettering for crisp arcs with no flatness, and spin the coin under bright light to catch that coveted cameo frost against mirror fields on proof issues. These quick diagnostics can point you toward a major payday in seconds. Auction houses have witnessed fireworks equal to the original bicentennial celebration whenever a top-pop error surfaces. A Denver Mint copper-nickel example with bold double-dyed details hammered for nearly six figures in 2024, and silver-clad proofs graded deep cameo 70 have repeatedly shattered previous records, proving that collector enthusiasm for this modern classic only grows stronger with time. For those eager to join the hunt, search old mint sets, estate sales, and even bank-wrapped rolls. Bicentennial quarters circulated so widely that sleepers still lurk in everyday places. Store your finds in non-PVC holders, avoid cleaning at all costs, and when in doubt, submit promising pieces to professional graders who can authenticate errors and assign the grade that unlocks full market value. Second rare coin. Spotlight shines on a very mysterious and rare variant that has captured the attention of collectors around the country, the 1973 quarter. A true anomaly that stands apart from its more common 1976 marked cousins. Now, if you're scratching your head thinking, wait a minute, weren't bicentennial quarters only made in 1975 and 1976? You're absolutely right to ask. The official dual-dated 1776 to 1976 bicentennial quarters were indeed released in those years. However, a few highly unusual quarters bearing the date 1973 have surfaced, sparking curiosity and excitement in the numismatic world. These coins are believed to be pre-production strikes or experimental test pieces related to the bicentennial series, and they are beyond rare. They are legendary. What makes the 1973 bicentennial quarter so fascinating is that it defies standard minting records. These coins were never meant to be released, making them an ultimate collector's prize. They may have been struck as trial coins, early die tests, or accidental prototypes while the US Mint was preparing for the grand launch of the bicentennial series. And because their existence is so limited, their value has soared to incredible heights in today's coin market. If you're lucky enough to stumble upon a coin like this, you'll notice something very strange. It features the traditional Washington quarter obverse design, but may also exhibit subtle differences in the reverse layout or strike quality that distinguish it from regular issues. Experts believe that these variations may include early versions of the famous drummer boy design or could have been struck using unrefined dies that were never finalized for public production. This makes the coin not just valuable, but historically significant. The 1973 bicentennial quarter is not just rare. It's unique in the sense that, even among rare coins, it sits in a category of its own. What elevates its importance even further is the presence of specific minting errors. Some versions of this coin have been found with doubling on the date or lettering, off-center strikes, and even die clashes where elements of both sides are imprinted faintly across each other. These features are not flaws, they're treasures that multiply the coin's value and tell a story of how something extraordinary slipped through the most secure and professional minting system in the world. To determine if you've come across a rare 1973 bicentennial quarter, look closely at the date first. This is the giveaway. Next, inspect the coin's details under a strong light or magnifying glass. Look for any doubling in the letters Liberty or In God We Trust, and examine the reverse for anything unusual, especially early or inconsistent impressions of the Revolutionary War drummer or unusual text placement. Weigh the coin if possible. Variations from the standard 5.67 grams may indicate it was struck on a wrong or test planchet, which is an exciting bonus. Collectors who specialize in error coins or US Mint test pieces are constantly looking for such mysterious finds, and when one of these extremely rare 1973 bicentennial quarters appears at auction, it draws massive attention. In one recent case, a coin believed to be an experimental strike with this exact date was authenticated by a third-party grading service and shocked everyone when it sold for an unbelievable price, making headlines in numismatic circles worldwide. This isn't just a coin. This is a piece of history, a glimpse into the behind-the-scenes experimentation of one of America's most celebrated coinage events. The fact that such a coin could exist and could potentially be sitting unnoticed in someone's collection or change jar is what makes this journey so exciting. It's why collectors never stop searching, because sometimes the rarest treasures are the ones no one expects to find. So now, the big question: how much could one of these elusive 1973 bicentennial quarters be worth today? With the right features, a striking error, and pristine condition, such a coin has been known to fetch as much as $70,000 at auction. Yes, that's right, 70,000 US dollars for a single quarter that most people would overlook. That's the magic of coin collecting. Every coin tells a story, and some of those stories are worth more than gold. So if you've ever seen a quarter dated 1973 that doesn't quite match the others, take it seriously and get it evaluated by a professional. Third expensive coin, we're going to explore a mysterious and highly valuable coin that has been quietly gaining attention in the world of rare numismatics: the United States of America $quarter coin from the year 1979. Yes, you heard that right, 1979. While the official bicentennial quarters were released with the dual date 1776 to 1976, a small number of unusual quarters dated 1979 have surfaced with features and anomalies that have made collectors sit up, take notice, and dig through their collections like never before. The traditional bicentennial quarter design. With its historic drummer boy reverse, was only officially minted in 1975 and 1976. No quarters from 1979 were supposed to feature any remnants of this design or be connected in any way to that program. But over the years, numismatists have uncovered coins dated 1979 that appear to be struck with remnants of bicentennial dies, experimental tests, or transitional planchets, and that has created a massive buzz in the coin collecting world. These coins have become conversation starters at coin shows, online auctions, and among serious collectors who understand that sometimes the rarest coins are born from the rarest mistakes. So what exactly makes these 1979 quarters special? It's all about the errors, anomalies, and unexplained minting circumstances that surround their creation. Some coins from 1979 have been discovered with reverse die clashes showing elements eerily similar to the bicentennial design, or even ghostly impressions that hint at the drummer boy's outline. Others appear to have been struck on leftover planchets or dies that were somehow not retired in time after the bicentennial release, which would be an extremely rare minting oversight with historic significance. These mint errors are not only fascinating, they make the coin far more valuable to collectors who crave the rare and the unusual. One of the most exciting things about these 1,979 mystery quarters is that they bridge two historic chapters of American coinage: the proud bicentennial celebration of 1976 and the beginning of modern high-speed minting production in the late 70s. That crossover makes them not just rare, but meaningful, symbolic, and incredibly desirable in the eyes of serious collectors. And when these coins also carry additional errors like double dies, misstrikes, or off-center designs, their value and collectability skyrocket to another level entirely. If you're curious to know whether your 1979 quarter could be one of these rare treasures, start by examining the coin closely with a magnifier. Look for odd impressions on the reverse, any faint signs of the bicentennial drummer, strange doubling, or unexpected features around the torch area that may not belong on a standard Washington quarter. Then check the coin's weight. Some of these errors are known to be struck on wrong planchets, such as silver or foreign blanks, making their weight slightly different from the standard 5.67 grams. Any variation here could be your clue that something extraordinary is in your hands. Collectors and auction houses have already started to recognize the buzz around these special coins. In fact, some rare 1979 quarters linked to bicentennial era transitions or planchet issues have been authenticated and graded, and have fetched jaw-dropping prices at coin shows and private auctions. When a coin like this is professionally graded and confirmed to feature unique mint errors or transitional elements, it quickly becomes one of the most prized pieces in any modern coin collection. What's even more thrilling is that these coins were minted in the millions during a time when many Americans weren't thinking about coin collecting, which means they still exist in circulation today. That's right, you could walk into a store, get change back, and unknowingly receive a coin that's worth more than a brand new car. It's the kind of hidden treasure that turns everyday people into passionate collectors and collectors into legends. So now comes the moment you've been waiting for: the value. How much can one of these rare 1979 bicentennial-linked quarters be worth if it's in mint condition with verifiable error features? The answer will blow your mind. A certified example with the right combination of errors and historical uniqueness has been valued and sold for as much as $50,000. Yes, that's 50,000 US dollars for one rare quarter that, to the untrained eye, might look like just another piece of pocket change. That's why knowledge is power in the world of numismatics, because those who take the time to study, research, and inspect every detail are the ones who uncover the most valuable finds. So tell us in the comments, have you ever found a 1979 quarter that looked different, felt strange, or made you wonder about its origin? Do you have questions about identifying errors, getting your coins graded, or exploring rare US coin types? Share your thoughts, your stories, and your questions, because this community is built on curiosity, discovery, and a shared love for rare and valuable coins. Spotlight is shining on a very special piece, the United States of America $quarter coin from the year 1967. Now, at first glance, this coin might seem like a regular old quarter from pocket change, but for those who know what to look for, the 1967 quarter can be a rare gem worth far more than just 25 cents. In fact, with the right features, this coin has sold for as much as $50,000, and today, we're going to explore exactly why. The 1967 quarter holds a unique place in American coin history. It was minted during a very critical time, just 2 years after the United States removed silver from its quarter coinage. Because of this transition, the mint did not produce any proof or mint sets in 1967, and all coins were struck in what's called special mint sets, a limited, one-year-only production aimed at collectors. These coins were not quite proofs and not quite standard circulation issues, making them incredibly interesting for collectors who hunt for both technical precision and rarity in the same piece. But what truly drives the demand for the 1967 quarter is the incredible range of minting errors that occurred during its production. Remember, this was a time when the mint was adjusting its production techniques after the silver era, and during that adjustment, a small number of coins were released with striking mistakes that have become treasures for collectors today. Some 1967 quarters display strong doubling on the obverse, especially on the inscriptions like Liberty and In God We Trust, which is referred to as a doubled die error. These doubled letters are not only visually fascinating, but also extremely rare and valuable. Another prized variety is the 1967 quarter struck on a silver planchet. Yes, despite the official end of silver quarters in 1964, a handful of 1967 coins have surfaced that were accidentally struck on leftover 90% silver blinks, likely due to planchet mix-ups during the production process. These silver planchet errors are incredibly rare and instantly skyrocket the value of the coin, especially when authenticated by trusted grading services like PCGS or NGC. Imagine finding what appears to be a regular 1967 quarter only to discover it's made of precious silver. That's the kind of discovery that turns a casual collector into a lifelong enthusiast. There are also known 1967 quarters with off-center strikes, broad strikes, and even coins with missing clad layers, revealing the copper core beneath the surface. These striking errors make each coin one of a kind and are especially desirable when combined with a high state of preservation. The cleaner the strike, the fewer the scratches, and the more brilliant the shine, the higher the coin will grade and the more it will fetch at auction. Now, how can you identify one of these rare and valuable 1967 quarters? Start with a simple test. Check the coin's edge. A regular 1967 quarter should have a visible copper core sandwiched between nickel layers. But if the edge appears silver all the way around, you may have a silver planchet error. Next, use a magnifying glass to inspect the inscriptions for any signs of doubling. Look closely at George Washington's profile for sharp details or strange outlines. Anything that seems off might just be a rare die variation. And most importantly, weigh your coin if you can. A standard 1967 quarter should weigh about 5.67 grams. If your coin is heavier, it might be struck on silver, and that's where the real excitement begins. Coin experts and auction houses have seen dramatic results when coins like this come up for sale. In fact, authenticated error coins from 1967 in high mint state condition, especially those with strong doubling or silver planchet errors, have brought fierce bidding wars and record-breaking prices. These aren't just coins, they're pieces of American history, stamped during a transitional time and frozen in their rare forms forever. So if you've got a 1967 quarter in your collection, or you come across one in circulation, don't overlook it. Take a closer look, inspect the weight, the color, the design, and the strike. You could be holding a treasure that most people wouldn't even notice. And if you believe you've found something rare, always get it professionally graded. That small step could turn your find into a 5-figure payday. And yes, for the highlight you've been waiting for, a rare 1967 United States quarter-dollar coin, struck on a silver planchet with verified doubling and graded in top condition, has sold for as much as $50,000. So coin lovers, let's hear from you. Have you ever come across a 1967 quarter that felt or looked different? Do you have any interesting finds you want to share? Drop a comment below, tell us your story, or ask a question, because this channel is all about sharing knowledge, building community, and uncovering the most fascinating pieces of American coin history. Last unique coin, we're talking about the United States of America $quarter coin from the year 1994 with the P mint mark, a coin that many people have overlooked in their change, but one that could be worth thousands to the right collector when it carries specific rare errors and conditions. This is the kind of coin you definitely want to listen closely about, especially if you love the thrill of discovering value where no one else sees it. The 1994 P. Washington quarter was minted in Philadelphia during a time when millions of coins were being struck for circulation. At first glance, it's easy to think this coin is just another standard quarter featuring the familiar portrait of George Washington on the obverse and the iconic eagle on the reverse. But as we always say in the world of numismatics, never judge a coin by its face value, because sometimes the real treasure is in the details that most people miss. What sets the 1994 P quarter apart is not just its design, but the rare and valuable minting errors that occurred during its production. These aren't just simple flaws, they are extraordinary anomalies that elevate an ordinary coin into a collector's dream. One of the most sought-after errors is the double die obverse, where the letters "In Liberty," "In God We Trust," or even the date itself appear to have been struck twice, creating a bold shadow or doubling effect that's visible even to the naked eye. These double dies are incredibly rare, and when found in uncirculated or high mint state condition, they can demand massive premiums. Another exciting variety collectors are chasing is the 1994 P quarter struck on the wrong planchet. These coins were mistakenly struck on blanks meant for other denominations like nickels or foreign coins, giving them unusual weight, size, or even color. If you happen to come across a quarter that sounds different when dropped or weighs slightly less or more than the standard 5.67 grams, don't dismiss it. You may be holding a wrong planchet error that's extremely rare and highly valuable. And then there are off-center strikes. Beautiful errors where the coin design is visibly misaligned. Some of these 1994 P quarters were struck off-center enough to cut off part of Washington's head or the eagle's wings, creating a visually striking and one-of-a-kind collectible. The more dramatic the off-center strike and the more complete the visible date, the more valuable the coin becomes. These are favorites among collectors because they make the mint's mistake clearly visible, adding to the coin's uniqueness and market demand. Another stunning error that's been reported is the missing clad layer. Quarters are supposed to be made from a copper-nickel clad composition, but sometimes the nickel layer is missing, exposing a copper core on one or both sides of the coin. A reddish or golden tone to the coin could be the first clue. These types of errors instantly capture the attention of grading services and serious buyers because they show a major deviation from the mint standards and are incredibly scarce. So how do you know if your 1994 P quarter is one of these rare finds? Start by checking the coin's condition. Look for sharp details, clean edges, and minimal wear, especially if you suspect a mint error. Then examine the inscriptions and images for any signs of doubling or misalignment. Use a precise digital scale to weigh the coin and a good magnifying glass to spot fine details that the average eye would miss. If anything about your coin seems off or unusual, it could be the clue that you've found something special, and it's worth getting it checked by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. These coins have been showing up in online auctions, coin shows, and estate sales, and when authenticated and graded, they're commanding jaw-dropping prices. Collectors across the country are willing to pay top dollar for verified 1994 P quarters with rare errors, especially in high-grade, uncirculated condition. They know that coins like these don't just offer monetary value, but also historical and collectible significance, making them incredibly attractive for both seasoned and new collectors alike. This is why it's so important for you to check your change and review the coins in your old jars or mint sets, because one small detail could lead you to a coin worth far more than anyone ever expected. The 1994 P quarter might seem like just another modern issue, But when it carries a rare error or is found in flawless condition, it can instantly become a headline-worthy collectible that lights up the auction floor and gets numismatists talking. So now, the moment we've all been waiting for: how much can one of these extraordinary 1994 P quarters be worth in today's market? A certified mint-era example with high-grade preservation has sold for as much as $35,000 in recent auctions. Yes, 35,000 US dollars for a coin you might have spent without thinking twice. This is why the coin collecting world is so thrilling. It rewards patience, attention to detail, and passion. And it reminds us that even modern coins can hold stories, secrets, and serious value. If you've got a 1994 P quarter that looks different or feels special, tell us in the comments. Have questions about grading, identifying errors, or checking your collection? Share your thoughts below. This community is here to help and learn together. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon so you never miss another opportunity to uncover treasure in your own pocket. Stay curious, stay sharp, and as always, happy collecting.